Welcome, you are not here by accident. The great architect of the universe has arranged this meeting in the invisible. There are no coincidences in the divine mind. Every encounter, every word, every sound that reaches your ear is part of the unfolding pattern of your awakening. You have been led here in this hour because your soul has whispered for remembrance. Somewhere within you a spark has cried out, I was born to be more, to live in abundance, to know the infinite wealth of the Father within me. And tonight that whisper becomes a decree. Once I too wandered in a fog of striving. I sought success as a man seeks water in the desert, chasing shadows, thirsty for proof, for gold, for meaning. But one night in the silence between thoughts, a simple declaration was born within me. It came not from effort, but from revelation. The words were few, yet they carried the vibration of eternity. The infinite substance of God is my instant and everlasting supply. That one declaration turned the wheel of my life. Within months, everything changed. Business, health, opportunity, inner peace. I learned then the secret that Scripture has whispered since the dawn of time. By your words you are justified, and by your words you are condemned. To Matthew 12:37. The universe is a law of correspondence, as within, so without. The world you see is not separate from you. It is your mind objectified. Every experience, every circumstance is the outpicturing of a belief, a word, a mental image planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious. That inner realm does not reason, does not debate. It accepts. Like rich earth receiving seed, it brings forth according to its kind. And if you would change the harvest, you must change the seed. Your word is that seed. Words clothed in feeling and faith become living forms. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, says Proverbs 1:8-21. It does not say some power, but the power, your tongue, your inner speech, your declaration. These are the chisels that carve your destiny. Every affirmation, every thought charged with emotion becomes a decree written in the invisible book of life, and the subconscious, impartial and eternal, obeys. In that holy night when my declaration was born, I understood what it means to speak with authority, not to beg the heavens, not to plead with an external God, but to stand as a son of the infinite and declare truth from the center of being. I felt the living presence of God surge through my veins like golden light. The words rose not from intellect but from knowing. The infinite substance of God is my instant and everlasting supply. I said it not as a wish, but as a decree. I felt the thrill of its truth, and within days, channels opened, unexpected clients, forgotten debts paid, new partnerships, favor flowing as if the universe had conspired to bless me. It had not conspired, it had simply obeyed the word. Understand this, the subconscious mind is the builder of your world. It is the silent architect that follows the blueprint given by your thoughts and words. When you say, I can't, it builds limitation. When you say, I can, it constructs a bridge. When you say, I am prosperous, it begins to organize the universe around that pattern. The subconscious does not choose, it simply executes the decree given by the conscious mind. Therefore, guard your speech. You are always decreeing, whether in ignorance or in wisdom. Every idle word carries power. There is no neutral speech. To say, I am broke, I am sick, or I am unlucky, is to give the great builder a plan for ruin. To say, I am blessed, I am guided, I am one with the abundance of God, is to hand it the plan for greatness. The law is impartial. It does not punish or reward, and it simply reflects. 'Tis you are not punished for your words, you are punished by them. Not rewarded for faith, but through faith. According to your faith be it unto you. Matthew 9:29. A man once came to me, burdened by financial ruin. His business had failed, his partners betrayed him, his name tarnished. He said, Dr. Murphy, I have lost everything. I looked at him gently and said, You have not lost the power that created everything. You have merely misused it. I taught him to affirm, Infinite intelligence governs and guides all my affairs. Divine abundance flows to me freely, lavishly, endlessly. He practiced morning and night, feeling the truth of those words until they became his inner climate. Within weeks, a new idea was born in his mind, a service that met a great need in his community. Investors appeared. Within a year, he was not only restored but prospering beyond all previous measure. He said, It was as though a door opened inside me and I walked into a new world. I said the door was always there. Your word turned the handle. Your word is the handle that opens the vaults of heaven. It is the invisible currency that moves mountains and multiplies loaves. When you speak from the feeling of faith, you are speaking as God in action. Remember Genesis. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Creation began not with struggle but with word. The same Spirit that moved upon the face of the waters moves now through you, awaiting your decree. You are the voice of the infinite in individual expression. The subconscious is the womb of creation, and your word impregnates it. Speak then with majesty. Speak not of lack but of abundance, not of fear but of faith, not of sickness but of divine order. Every cell of your body listens. Each atom responds to the vibration of your inner speech. Say within yourself now, every cell of my body is under divine order now. Feel those words as rivers of light coursing through you. The subconscious hears and obeys. The body renews, the mind aligns, the path clears. For what is spoken in faith in the inner chamber is shouted in manifestation in the outer world. In the quiet hours before sleep, your words are seeds dropped into the fertile night. The drowsy state is holy ground. There the conscious mind relaxes its watch, and the subconscious becomes receptive. What you impress in that twilight will unfold by morning. Therefore, watch what you whisper before slumber. Let not the final word of your day be complaint or worry, but decree. Say softly, my word is my seed. My seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance. Then sleep in the assurance that the divine gardener waters your seed through the night. The wise man in Proverbs said, "A man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth." The fruit is inevitable. The only question is what seed you plant. Plant the words of life. Speak as though your voice were law, for indeed it is. And when doubt arises, remind yourself that every word backed by feeling and faith becomes flesh. You are not hoping, you are creating. I recall a woman who came to one of my lectures in Los Angeles suffering from a chronic illness the doctors could not name. She said, "I've prayed for healing for years and nothing changes." I asked her what she said to herself daily. She replied, "I always say I'm so tired of being sick." I smiled gently and said, "Then your word is fulfilled faithfully. You have decreed tiredness and sickness. Let us now decree health and order." I gave her the affirmation, "Divine life flows through me now. Every organ is perfect. Every function is in harmony. I am strong, vital, and whole." I told her to speak it slowly, feeling the joy of health, imagining herself walking, laughing, radiant. In 2 weeks, her symptoms vanished. She wrote to me, "I feel as though I've been reborn." Indeed, she had, reborn by the renewing of her word. The subconscious is scientific in precision. It is the unseen machinery of creation, more exact than mathematics. Modern science glimpses its laws in the placebo effect, where belief heals the body, in neuroplasticity, where thought reshapes the brain, in quantum observation, where attention alters matter. These discoveries are but echoes of the ancient truth. The outer is shaped by the inner image, the spoken word, the felt decree. The universe mirrors consciousness. To change the mirror, change the image. Let your imagination be your workshop. Visualize not with strain, but with delight. See yourself already possessing what you desire: wealth, love, health, peace. Feel it real. Marry your word to the image, and conception takes place. When you declare, "Everything I touch prospers," see your hands as channels of divine opulence. Feel gold light flowing through them. When you say, "I am divinely guided in all I do," sense an inner compass leading your steps. When you affirm, "Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me," feel that love as a radiant aura. The subconscious responds not to words alone, but to the feeling behind them. Words without emotion are barren. Words clothed in feeling are fertile. Emotion is the power that carries the seed to fruition. Feeling is the soul of the word. You can repeat affirmations for years with no result if your feeling contradicts your words. But one declaration filled with faith and emotion can overturn mountains of disbelief. Speak your word as though it were already done. Feel its reality. Let the joy of fulfillment flood you. That joy is the signal that your subconscious has accepted the decree. I once met a man who said, I've tried affirmations, but they don't work. I asked, with what feeling do you say them? He replied, I just repeat them mechanically. I said, then you are planting seeds on stone. The subconscious soil receives only living words, words warmed by the sun of feeling. He began to practice feeling the emotion of success as he declared his good. Within weeks, his outer world began to change. Clients increased, relationships improved, and his confidence glowed. It's as if life woke up around me, he said. I replied, no, life woke up within you, and the outer reflected it. When I made my declaration that night, that one simple eternal decree, I felt a holy electricity. It was not the words alone, but the consciousness behind them. I felt unity with the source of all wealth, a radiant certainty that could not be shaken. That feeling was faith. Faith is not hope. Faith is knowing. It is the inner sight that sees the invisible and calls it done. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. Substance. Faith is not a wish, but the very essence of reality taking form. When you declare from faith, you are giving substance to the unseen. Let us then begin to speak as divine beings. Let your inner speech match your divine origin. If God is your source, how can you lack? If infinite intelligence is your mind, how can you fail? If divine love is your nature, how can you fear? Every time you say, I am, you are invoking the name of God revealed to Moses. I am that I am. Exodus 3:14. Therefore, never say I am, followed by limitation. Do not misuse the sacred name. Instead, affirm the truth. I am life. I am abundance. I am love. I am one with the infinite. As you do, the subconscious records it. The universe aligns to it, and manifestation unfolds. Pause now. Breathe deeply. Say within, I am a spiritual being, one with the infinite source. The wealth of the universe flows through me freely, joyously, ceaselessly. Feel it. Let your whole being vibrate with that knowing. That vibration is the creative force. That is the word made flesh. The moment you begin to feel the truth of your declaration, heaven bends to listen. The infinite does not hear words alone. It hears the vibration behind them. When your feeling and your word agree, creation is instantaneous in the unseen. What you call time is merely the process by which the invisible becomes visible. So do not measure by the clock, measure by conviction. The instant your inner conviction is complete, the thing itself is finished in the invisible. All that remains is the outer unfolding. A garden does not fret over how the seed shall break the ground. The soil knows, the rain knows, the sun knows. So too does the subconscious know the way of fulfillment. When you speak your word in faith and rest in feeling, you have sown the seed. Leave it to the law. Worry is uprooting. Faith is watering. Thanksgiving is sunshine. Let gratitude be your song, for gratitude is the proof of belief. To thank before you see is to claim the invisible harvest. Every morning I awake in silent awe and whisper, thank you, Father, for the riches of life now flowing through me. That thanksgiving opens invisible channels. It draws into form the very thing praised. Gratitude multiplies the seed. You cannot be grateful and fearful in the same breath. One cancels the other. When fear knocks, answer with praise. Say, I thank the infinite for perfect guidance. I thank the presence for immediate supply. In that thanksgiving, fear dissolves. There was once a young artist who came to me with trembling voice. Dr. Murphy, he said, I have talent, but no patrons, no money, no chance. I scared him. What do you declare each day? He sighed. I say life is hard. No one appreciates me. I smiled. You are painting poverty with words. I told him to declare, the infinite appreciates and supports my art. My work is in demand. Divine favor goes before me. He obeyed, repeating with feeling every night before sleep, seeing himself honored, supplied, joyous. Within 3 months, a gallery owner discovered his work and commissions poured in. He wrote, it was as if the world suddenly discovered me. I answered, no, you discovered yourself. When you change your inner declaration, the outer world rearranges to match it. People, places, opportunities, all are mirrors of the inner pattern. The law of the word governs them all. You speak the prototype. The law builds the structure. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. Isaiah 55:11. That is not ancient poetry, it is the formula of creation. Speak, and it shall not return void. The subconscious does not forget. Every word impressed becomes a living vibration, shaping your future conditions. You may not recall what you spoke years ago, but life remembers. If the harvest displeases you, begin now to plant anew. The soil will forget the weeds when you sow noble seed. Affirm daily, from this moment only divine ideas govern my life. Only constructive words leave my lips. I speak truth, beauty, and abundance. Persist, and the old pattern fades like mist before the sun. There is a holy rhythm between word, image, and feeling. The word is the seed, the image is the mold, the feeling is the power. When these three agree, manifestation is inevitable. The conscious mind chooses the word, the imagination shapes it, the emotion energizes it, the subconscious executes it. That is the creative trinity within man, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, expressed psychologically as thought, image, and feeling. You may test this law at any moment. Close your eyes and declare, I am now receiving divine ideas. They come with clarity and power. Then listen. A gentle nudge will arise, a thought, a picture, a sudden peace. That is the infinite speaking through you. Follow it. The guidance of the subconscious is subtle yet sure. It speaks in intuition, in sudden knowing, in the quiet impulse to act. When you say, I am divinely guided in all I do, you open the inner ear to that whisper, and as you follow it, you find that coincidence becomes providence. I recall the night I was given the idea for one of my early books. I had declared before sleep, infinite intelligence writes through me. My words bless the world. I fell asleep feeling that truth. At dawn, I awoke with pages already written in my mind. I rose, transcribed them, and the book spread across nations. That is the way of the law. Effortless creation through receptive surrender. The conscious sows, the subconscious blossoms. Emotion is not to be feared but sanctified. People often repress feeling, calling it weakness. Yet feeling is the fuel of manifestation. To feel is to give life, but direct it upward. Do not let emotion run as a wild river destroying its banks. Channel it as a mighty current powering the wheel of creation. When anger arises, transmute it into determination. When longing burns, transform it into faith. The energy is the same, only its direction differs. Say within, this fire in me is divine zeal accomplishing good. Thus even seeming negatives serve your creation. Science now begins to echo what the mystics knew. Neuroscientists find that the brain cannot distinguish between vividly imagined experience and physical fact. In both cases, the same neural pathways fire, the same hormones flow. The subconscious accepts imagination as reality. Therefore, when you visualize success with emotion, thus, the subconscious acts as if it were already true, adjusting body behavior and circumstance accordingly. The law is perfect. When I declared my own prosperity, I did not look outward for confirmation. I looked inward to feeling. I spoke the word, felt the joy of abundance, and trusted the unseen. Within months, the outer reflected it. You too must learn to trust the invisible cause more than the visible effect. Faith is inner sight. It does not deny appearances. It transcends them. To say, I am wealthy when your purse is empty is not hypocrisy. It is spiritual truth asserting itself against illusion. Soon the illusion yields. Let us then cleanse our inner vocabulary, erase words of limitation, replace them with royal decrees. Say often, I walk in the light of abundance. The riches of the infinite flow to me in perfect ways. Feel those words ringing through your body as golden sound. That sound is creative vibration. You are tuning your whole being to the frequency of prosperity. Just as a tuning fork causes another to vibrate in harmony, your inner vibration draws matching forms, people, ideas, circumstances into resonance with your decree. A merchant once attended my class in New York. His store had languished for years. I asked him, "What do you declare each morning?" He said, "I dread another slow day." I smiled. Then the law fulfills your dread. Speak instead. Infinite intelligence prospers my business. Every customer is a blessing. Divine order reigns. He obeyed, feeling gratitude as he unlocked his shop each morning. In a month his sales doubled. In 6 months he expanded. He said, "It's miraculous." I said, "It is mathematical." Miracle is the natural result of correct law. The law of words is as exact as gravity. You may use it ignorantly to fall or wisely to rise. The choice is yours each moment. The word is always working. Now, as the day closes, prepare to rewrite your script. Tonight, before you sleep, withdraw from the outer world. Let the mind become still. Imagine a scroll before you, the scroll of your life. See yourself with a pen of light. Across that scroll, write new words. I am divine abundance expressing now. The infinite substance of God is my instant and everlasting supply. Everything I touch prospers. Every cell of my body is under divine order now. I am divinely guided in all I do. As you write these in the silence of your mind, feel their reality. See your future radiant and complete. Whisper them slowly until they sink beyond thought into feeling. That feeling is the planting. Then sleep. The subconscious gardener will tend the seed. In the morning you will rise to a world already rearranging itself to your decree. Remember, creation is not tomorrow, it is now. The moment you declare with conviction, the unseen structure is formed. Time only reveals what eternity has finished. Walk therefore as one already blessed. Speak therefore as one already rich. Think therefore as one already healed. Let no word leave your lips that you would not see made flesh, for the universe listens, the subconscious records, the law obeys, and your life quietly, magnificently becomes the mirror of your word. So tonight, beloved soul, rewrite your script with new words. Whisper them in the silence, plant them in the dark soil of sleep, and know, surely as dawn follows night, that the harvest of your word will appear. My word is my seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance. Dawn has come, soft and golden, and the world still hums with the echo of your night decree. You wake not as one who begins a new day, but as one who continues a creation begun in sleep. The unseen has been working through the hours of darkness. The seed of your word has been stung, read by the deep. Now the morning invites you to speak again, to breathe life into the new form rising beneath the surface. The stillness of early light is sacred. It is the bridge between worlds, where the dream and the waking share one breath. In this holy silence I learned what I call the whisper method, the art of impressing the subconscious through gentle repetition in the threshold state between waking and sleep. The whisper carries the word past the guards of logic, past the noise of reason, straight into the fertile soil of the heart. When I first began this practice, I would lie very still, eyes closed, body limp as a leaf upon still water, and murmur within, barely audible, I am one with the infinite. The infinite works through me now. I whispered it until the words dissolved into pure feeling. The whisper is not for the outer ear, it is for the inner listener, the subconscious that never sleeps. When you speak softly, you bypass resistance, you lull the conscious mind, and the seed drops gently into the dark. Remember, it is not the volume that moves the mountain, but the conviction behind the breath. A whisper uttered in faith thunders in eternity. So tonight and every night as you drift toward sleep, take a single declaration and let it ride upon your breath. Let it be simple, luminous, and complete. Say, my word is creative power. My world obeys my word. Feel the rhythm of it merging with your heartbeat. With each repetition, imagine the words sinking lower, deeper, until they rest in the still waters of the subconscious. There they will germinate in silence. One woman I counseled suffered from years of loneliness. She whispered each night, divine love fills my heart and surrounds me. Within a month, her whole atmosphere changed. New friends appeared. Kindness followed her like sunlight. Eventually, she met the companion her soul had longed for. She told me, it was not that I found love, it was that love found me. Indeed, she had aligned with the law of her own being. The subconscious is impressionable at the edge of sleep because the critical faculties have grown drowsy. What you murmur in that drowsiness becomes command. That is why idle worries at bedtime become nightmares by morning. Replace them with royal decrees. Whisper peace, and you will wake in peace. Whisper abundance, and you will wake to opportunity. Whisper forgiveness, and you will wake free. Imagine now that you hold the world close to your lips. Whisper over it as God whispered over the waters in Genesis. Let there be light. That light is your consciousness illuminating the darkness of limitation. In those quiet moments before sleep, the body grows heavy, the breath slow, the mind open. This is the womb of creation. Speak gently into it. Do not shout to the heavens. The infinite is not deaf. It is nearer than your own heartbeat. It responds to sincerity, not strain. Whisper your word as a lover speaks the name of the beloved, with intimacy, reverence, certainty. If you have a desire for wealth, do not beg for it. Whisper instead, I am the abundance of the infinite in expression. Money is the movement of divine substance. It flows to me freely, joyously, endlessly. As you drift into sleep, picture streams of light weaving themselves into form, ideas, opportunities, new doors. Feel the warmth of success already achieved. That feeling is the signature of acceptance. A man once told me he fell asleep each night murmuring, I am guided and prospered by divine wisdom. After several weeks, he dreamed he was walking through a field of gold coins. Upon waking, an inspired idea flashed in his mind, a new approach for his business that multiplied his income beyond expectation. Dreams are the subconscious speaking in symbols, confirming that the seed has taken root. The whisper does not end with night. Upon waking, hold the residue of that feeling before the mind's charm. Chapter begins. The first words of the morning are the cornerstone of the day. Do not rush to the news or the phone. Linger in the silence and affirm, today divine intelligence directs my every step. Everything I do prospers. I walk in light and joy. The whisper becomes a current that carries you through the hours. When the world's noise grows loud, return inward and repeat your quiet decree. You will find that circumstances bend to its rhythm. Feeling is the electricity that powers the whisper. Do not repeat mechanically. Let each word be warm with conviction, glowing like an ember in your chest. The subconscious responds to warmth, not cold repetition. Science confirms this mystery. Electroencephalographs show that in the moments before sleep, the brain shifts into alpha and theta rhythms, the same frequencies reached in deep meditation. These are the gateways through which suggestion enters the deeper mind. The ancients called it the Twilight Gate, and they guarded it with ritual. You need no ritual beyond sincerity. The whisper itself is the prayer. If your desire is health, whisper, every cell of my body is under divine order now. Feel your organs rejoice at those words. See them bathed in light. Whisper it until sleep overtakes you, and in the morning your body will begin to mirror that inner harmony. If your desire is peace, whisper, divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. And when fear visits, whisper again until it flees. Let your final thoughts be seeds of life. Do not let the thorns of regret or worry choke the garden of night. You are the gardener, and the whisper is your trowel. There is power in gentleness. The whisper teaches humility before the law. It reminds you that you do not need to force creation. You simply need to impress the pattern. The infinite handles the mechanics, just as the seed does not struggle to become the THC. Your word does not struggle to become reality. It unfolds in perfect order. You may find that as you whisper night after night, your days begin to glow with quiet assurance. Synchronicities appear. What once seemed effort now flows. You will recognize that life is self-fulfilling prophecy, and your whisper is its script. Therefore, tonight when you retire, remember the secret. The last thought is the first builder. As you sink into drowsiness, breathe softly and say, my word goes forth with power. It returns to me, multiplied in blessings. Feel the stillness, receive it. Then rest. Tomorrow you will see signs of its working. Not always thunder, sometimes dew, but the dew heralds the rain. The whisper continues long after the lips fall silent. It vibrates in the unseen, echoing through the deep chambers of mind, summoning forces beyond the intellect. Every seed of sound becomes a pattern of light, weaving itself into circumstance. The law never sleeps. You may awaken days later to find that what you murmured in faith has taken root in mysterious ways. A letter arrives, a stranger offers help, a forgotten contact remembers you, or a new door opens where once there was a wall. These are not accidents, they are the footprints of your whisper moving through form. The subconscious arranges what the conscious could never calculate. One evening, a weary shopkeeper came to see me. I've tried everything, he said. Advertising, discounts, prayer, but business still dies. I asked him, what do you whisper as you fall asleep? He said, I keep saying I'm so tired of failure. I smiled and said, you have declared your law faithfully. Reverse it tonight. Whisper, the wisdom of God prospers me now. I am refreshed and inspired. Feel it as truth and let sleep carry it to the builder. He returned a week later radiant, saying, it's strange. Customers just began flowing in again. I told him, not strange, scientific. The law of the word had been said. The subconscious never argues. It accepts and multiplies. Whatever seed you plant becomes the harvest. Whisper poverty, and you shall eat its fruit. Whisper abundance, and the soil bursts with plenty. The infinite is impartial. It fulfills the tone of your belief. Therefore guard the twilight moment as a priest guards the altar. There you commune with creative power itself. When you feel doubt, do not wrestle with it. Whisper softly over it like wind over water. Say, peace, be still. The surface of the mind calms and faith rises from the depths. Faith is not something you force, it is something you allow. The whisper is your invitation. I often tell students that the secret of all effective prayer is emotional finality. You must feel that the act is finished, that the wish is already fulfilled. The whisper helps you reach that sacred feeling. It is the lullaby that carries desire into fulfillment. Whisper until you feel release, then stop. The release is the sign that the seed has dropped. There was a nurse in London who practiced this method nightly. She was overworked and felt invisible. She began to whisper, divine recognition surrounds me. I am valued and prospered. Within weeks, she was offered a new position at double her salary and a circle of supportive colleagues. She wrote, it feels like the world has finally heard me. I replied, the world heard the whisper you gave yourself. Even the smallest declarations create ripples. You might whisper once, half asleep, I am safe. And weeks later notice that anxiety has quietly dissolved. The law always completes its circuit. You may forget the word, but the subconscious remembers. If you desire to accelerate manifestation, join image to whisper. As you murmur your decree, picture it fulfilled. See yourself walking in the completed scene. Feel the emotions you would feel if it were now. This fusion F sound, sight, and feeling forms a complete pattern like a chord struck in perfect harmony. The subconscious responds to harmony. At night, before sleep, imagine yourself standing beneath a cascade of golden light. Whisper, the infinite enriches me now. All that I need flows freely. See that light streaming through your hands into your affairs, blessing every contact. Let gratitude well up until you drift into rest. When you wake, hold the lingering glow and say quietly, thank you, Father, it is done. This practice, sustained for 7 nights, will alter the inner climate of your soul. You will feel buoyant, confident, expectant. Circumstances will rearrange to mirror that expectation. It is the law of correspondence in action, as within, so without. Understand, beloved, that repetition is holy. The subconscious learns through rhythm. Just as waves carve stone through persistence, your nightly whispers carve new neural paths, new energetic channels. Do not be concerned if nothing appears immediately. The seed beneath the soil works unseen until the appointed hour. Be faithful to the whisper, and the harvest must come. When temptation arises to speak contrary words during the day, pause and breathe. Remember the whisper of the night. Let it govern your speech. Say within, I choose words of life. In this way, the whisper becomes not only a bedtime ritual, but a living current guiding you through the day. A businessman once confessed, I start hopeful each morning, but by noon I'm cursing the delays and obstacles. I told him, then your morning decree is cancelled by your midday complaint. The law cannot yield 2 harvests at once. I taught him to pause, even in frustration, and whisper inwardly, divine order prevails now. He practiced for a month, and peace replaced agitation. With peace came clarity, and with clarity, success. The whisper is a discipline of alignment. It trains the conscious mind to speak only what the subconscious can bless. Eventually, every idle word will fall away. And your speech will become deliberate, luminous, creative. You may notice that as this inner harmony grows, you feel more compassion toward others. You understand that their words too are seeds. You cease condemning, knowing that to curse another is to plant thorns in your own garden. Instead, you silently bless. You become a living whisper of goodwill. At this stage, many experience what mystics call the sweet silence, a calm joy that pervades waking life. You realize you no longer need to strive or shout to be heard. The universe itself is listening, and your quiet faith is enough. So tonight, as you prepare for sleep, let your final act be holy. Turn off the lights, lie still, and feel your breath slow. Whisper once more your chosen decree. Let it drift into the vastness within. Say, perhaps, my word is my seed. My seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance. Then trust the gardener of your soul. The infinite will water it through the night. When morning comes, rise slowly and smile. Whisper, thank you for the perfect unfolding of this day. Step into the world as if your whisper has already shaped it, because it has. This is the practice I offer you now, the whisper method. Do it tonight. Do it faithfully for 7 nights. Let your last thought before sleep be your chosen word of power. The law will not fail you, for the word never returns void. And when you awaken, remember, the creation continues. The whisper of night becomes the voice of day, the song of manifestation. Thus ends the second movement of our journey. The seed has been planted. The dawn begins to bloom. Morning is the hour of birth. Every dawn is a miniature Genesis, the Spirit moving upon the face of the waters once more, saying, let there be light. The light that breaks across your eyelids is the same eternal radiance that spoke the worlds into form. When you awaken not merely to another day, but to another opportunity to speak creation. The thoughts and words you utter in the first moments after sleep are royal decrees. They travel unopposed into the subconscious, for the gatekeeper is still half asleep. Therefore, I tell you, treat the morning as sacred ground. As you open your eyes, do not rush into the noise of the world. Linger in the silence between sleep and waking. It is the temple of your becoming. In that stillness, the whisper of the night waits to be born into sound. The seed you planted before sleep has now gestated in the dark. Your task is to greet it with sunlight. Say softly within, this is a day of divine unfoldment. Everything I touch prospers. Every step I take is guided by infinite wisdom. Feel those words expand through your chest like dawn light flooding the horizon. You are not a beggar of circumstance. You are the architect of experience. The subconscious, your silent builder, stands ready for the day's blueprint. What you handed in these first moments will determine the pattern of events that follow. Therefore, begin every day as a king signing decrees for his kingdom. Do not speak idly. Do not repeat yesterday's complaints. For the word that issues from you this morning will walk ahead of you into traffic, into meetings, into every encounter, arranging what must be arranged. A woman once told me that she dreaded mornings. She awoke each day muttering, another long day, and by evening she was drained. I said, reverse the decree. The morning listens. She began instead to say, today the joy of the Lord is my strength. Within 2 weeks her energy transformed. The same hours, the same work, but a different law was operating. Her word reshaped the atmosphere of her life. Emotion is the fuel of these declarations. Say your morning decree not mechanically but with warmth. Feel it in your skin, your breath, your heartbeat. Imagine that every cell of your body is listening. Say, every cell of my body is under divine order now. Pause. Sense the quiet response within. That feeling is the law in motion. If you rise before the world stirs, step outside and look upon the sky. Nature herself practices affirmation. The birds sing without doubt that the day will provide. The flowers open as if commanded by joy. They declare life by their very being. Join them. Breathe deeply and let your breath be a silent praise. Life flows through me anew. Some have asked me, but what if I wake troubled, burdened with fear? I answer, begin where you are. Whisper gently, peace, be still. Say it until you feel a soft yielding inside. Then declare, divine order now governs my mind and affairs. The storm may still rage outwardly, but the inner command has gone forth. In time the outer must obey the inner, for the outer is only a reflection of the thought held persistently within. I once counseled a young inventor who lived in constant anxiety about his work. He feared failure with every sunrise. I taught him this ritual, before he left bed, to close his eyes and see himself rejoicing in success, to say aloud, infinite intelligence inspires me now. My work blesses humanity and enriches me abundantly. He did this faithfully for 40 mornings. On the 41st, he received an offer from a company that adopted his design globally. He wrote to me, I finally believe that the morning is the throne room of creation. Science itself now echoes this truth. Neuropsychologists tell us that the brain upon waking is in a state of high suggestibility. The theta waves of sleep blend with the alpha waves of early consciousness. In that window, the mind is like wet clay. Whatever impression you press into it becomes form. The ancients knew this intuitively and called it morning prayer. I call it the law of first words. Let your first words be holy. Before touching the phone, before reading the news, speak to your own heart. Say, I live in the presence of divine love. This day is a gift, and I move through it with ease and grace. Each repetition engraves a new path in the brain, a luminous trail that guides the subconscious throughout the day. When you look into the mirror, do not rush to judgment. Look deeply into your eyes and declare, I am divinely guided in all I do. The wisdom of God directs me. The beauty of the Lord shines through me. Say it until your reflection softens, until you glimpse the eternal being behind the form. Then carry that awareness with you as a quiet mantle of dignity. If you must travel, bless the road. Say, infinite intelligence arranges my way in peace. If you go to work, bless your place of labor. Say, divine order reigns here. All cooperate for mutual good. In this manner, your morning words become invisible architecture around you, forming corridors of safety and success. I remember a man who began each day muttering, I'm late, and indeed the world seemed to conspire to delay him. Traffic, calls, mishaps. I told him, change the seed. He began instead to say, time and I are one. I move in perfect rhythm. Within a week, the delays vanished. Even trains seemed to wait for him. Such is the precision of the law. Your body, too, responds to your decrees. Upon waking, stretch gently and affirm. Every organ, every cell vibrates with divine life. Feel the tingling of energy return. That is the life principle obeying your recognition. Say, I am a channel of vitality, a conduit of perfect health. The subconscious, which governs all involuntary functions, receives these instructions as truth and adjusts accordingly. You may choose a single morning affirmation to carry for 7 days. Let it be your watchword. Repeat it softly whenever you feel tension or distraction. Let it be the hum beneath all activity. Perhaps choose everything I touch prospers, or divine love goes before me today. At the week's end, you will find that the outer life has rearranged itself around your inner music. Think of your words as keys. Each syllable opens a door in consciousness. Some words open corridors of peace, others corridors of conflict. You are free to choose. When you rise each day, select only the keys of harmony. Whisper them, feel them, walk through the doors they open. Every morning is a resurrection. You rise from the tomb of sleep to prove again that spirit is master of matter. Therefore, let the first act of your awakening be thanksgiving. Gratitude is the purest seed. Say, thank you, infinite presence, for the perfection of this new day. Gratitude places the mind in alignment with abundance. It draws to you people, opportunities, and ideas resonant with praise. Now close your eyes for a moment and imagine your day as a bright river flowing before you. See it winding smoothly, sunlight dancing on its surface. Whisper, I move easily with the current of divine order. Then step into that river. Let its movement carry you. You need not struggle. You have already spoken the word. The mind that begins the day in harmony cannot end the day in chaos. When challenges appear, remind yourself, this too is under divine law. The same power that guides galaxies guides your smallest task. You are not separate. Be from it. You are its expression. This is the morning creation ritual I give you. Upon waking, speak your words, see your vision, feel your joy. Do this until it becomes instinct. The world will mirror it back with precision. And so the river of the day moves onward, carrying with it every decree you placed upon its surface. By noon, the world begins to echo back the vibration you set in motion at sunrise. You meet people who seem to appear by providence. You overhear a word that answers a question. You feel led to take a small action that opens a great door. These are not coincidences. They are the outward correspondences of your inner speech. You live inside your own utterance. If you will watch quietly, you will see the divine choreography unfold. The meeting delayed is for your protection. The sudden inspiration to turn left instead of right is guidance in disguise. The calm that replaces worry is the sign that the word is working in secret. The subconscious, God's silent worker, needs no supervision. It only requires your trust. When you feel fatigue, stop and breathe the same breath you used in the morning. Say within, infinite energy renews me now. Do not speak of weariness, for words are commands. Say instead, I am refreshed in the life of spirit. You will feel vitality return like a tide. Every action of the day is prayer if it is done in remembrance of the morning decree. When you speak kindly, when you perform your task with love, you are extending the vibration of creation. The office, the street, the home become extensions of the temple you built in silence. You need not withdraw from the world to live spiritually. You need only speak as one who knows the world obeys. Remember also the law of reversal. What you affirm in joy cancels what you once spoke in fear. You can redeem every careless word by uttering the truth now. The present moment is the creative edge of eternity. In this instant, speak the word of life. I am prospered, guided, and sustained by infinite intelligence. Feel the relief that follows. That relief is the doorway through which new conditions enter. One man, a trader burdened by heavy loss, began this ritual at my suggestion. He refused to speak of ruin. Each morning he declared, the spirit of wisdom governs my affairs. Divine substance flows through my business. He visualized light moving through his accounts, harmonizing every figure. Within 3 months, opportunities appeared from forgotten quarters. Partners returned. Losses were reversed. He wrote, it seems a miracle. I answered, it is not miracle, it is law consciously used. Science now speaks of neuroplasticity, the brain reshaping itself by repeated thought. What ancient scripture called renewing of the mind is this same process. Your morning decree is a tool of neurocreation. The more faithfully you use it, the more the nervous system itself bends toward success, peace, and health. Spirit writes its signature upon your very cells. When dusk approaches, look back upon the day not as a judge, but as a gardener. See where your words bore fruit and where weeds of complaint crept in. Do not condemn yourself, simply uproot them with forgiveness. Say, only divine ideas now bear fruit in me. In that gentle acknowledgement, the day closes in harmony with the morning. Thus the circle of creation completes itself. Whisper at night, decree at dawn, observe at evening. Night, morning, and day become one continuous act of praise. You live inside a rhythm of divine speech. You are the word made visible. Now, beloved listener, I call you to practice. For 7 mornings, consecrate the first minute after waking. Do not speak to man, machine, or memory. Speak only to the infinite within. Declare with calm authority, this is the day the Lord hath made. I rejoice and prosper in it. The wisdom of God orders my every step. Everything I touch prospers. Every word I speak blesses. Every thought I think builds. I am divinely guided in all I do. Repeat it softly 3 times. Feel it as the sunrise itself. Then go forth as though it were already fulfilled. Keep silent about obstacles. Keep radiant about possibilities. The universe will rearrange itself to agree with your decree. Do this faithfully for 7 dawns, and you will awaken on the 8th with a changed atmosphere. The air around you will feel charged with expectancy. People will greet you differently. Intuition will flow effortlessly. You will have discovered that creation is not a future event, it is a morning habit. So I tell you now, arise each day as a sovereign of spirit. Your bed is the tomb. Your rising is resurrection. Stand upon the threshold of light and speak the creative fiat. Let there be prosperity, let there be health, let there be peace, and behold, it is so. The word has gone forth. It will not return void. The builder is already at work within you. Rest in that knowing as the sun climbs the sky, for you are the light that was spoken in the beginning, and every dawn is your declaration made flesh. Silence is a furnace of creation. In 7 days of watchful speech you will prove the might of the word more than in a lifetime of scattered utterance. The ancient masters practiced the fast of the tongue to awaken the power of the heart. For every idle word spoken in haste is a seed cast upon stones. The word fast is not abstaining from food, but from the poison of contradiction. It is the purification of sound itself. You have learned to whisper by night and to decree by dawn. Now you will learn to keep the temple pure through the hours between. For what avail is the seed if the gardener tramples his own field? In this practice you will cease speaking of lack, of sickness, of delay. You will speak only of what you wish multiplied. The fast will reveal how easily the tongue strays and how quickly the subconscious obeys. For 7 days, watch your words as a shepherd watches his flock. Each time you feel the impulse to complain, pause, breathe, and turn within. Say silently, "Only divine order speaks through me now." This is not repression, it is redirection. You are teaching the creative force to flow only through channels of blessing. In the first day, you may feel the old habit tug at you. The mind will seek release through criticism or gossip. Smile inwardly and forgive yourself. Whisper, "Peace, be still. The word of life governs me." By evening, you will sense a quiet strength where noise once was. The fast has begun its holy work. On the second day, you will notice that others' words no longer disturb you. Their anger, their fear, their stories of misfortune pass through you like wind through reeds. You will understand that their speech is only their own harvest. You need not partake. You will bless silently, saying, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they sow." By the third day, light will break within you. You will feel the weight of years lift as the tongue learns reverence. The silence between sentences will grow luminous. You will hear the deeper music beneath sound, the heartbeat of God within the soul. Your words, when they do arise, will carry authority. They will be few, but each will be like an arrow of light. A merchant once took this vow with me. He was quick-tempered, famous for harsh speech. I told him, "Try for 7 days to speak only words you desire return to you." He laughed and said it was impossible. On the 4th day he came astonished, saying, "It feels as if my entire business has changed tone." His employees worked with new cheer. Disputes melted away. He had not changed them. They had responded to his new vibration. By mastering the tongue, he mastered circumstance. As you progress, you will discover the deeper law. Speech follows thought, but thought follows feeling. Therefore, to fast from negative words is also to fast from resentment. You cannot speak peace while brooding over injury. When such emotions arise, bless them and release them into the light. Say, "Divine love heals this memory now." Feel the warmth spread through your chest. That feeling is the true fast, the withdrawal of energy from all that does not serve. By the 5th day, miracles will begin to unfold quietly. Doors long shut will open. People will call with offers of reconciliation. Money once delayed will move again. Why? Because your words no longer contradict your desires. You have stopped pulling against your own prayer. The subconscious, relieved of conflict, can at last produce abundance in peace. Keep a small notebook if you wish. When you catch yourself speaking unkindly, mark a gentle symbol, perhaps a star. At night, review the day without condemnation. See how the stars decrease each day, as if the heavens themselves are clearing. End the review with gratitude. Thank you, Infinite Presence, for teaching me the sanctity of sound. The fast is not only about outer speech, but inner dialogue. The silent words you think about yourself are equally creative. Observe them. Replace self-criticism with blessing. When you hear the old voice say, "I can't," answer softly, "Through the Christ within, all things are possible." When it whispers, "I'm alone," reply, "Divine love enfolds me now." Thus the fast becomes a feast of truth. If you persist through the 7th day, you will experience what the psalmist called the still small voice. In that stillness, guidance comes effortlessly. You will sense what to do, when to act, whom to call. You will know that the word has become flesh in your consciousness. When the 7th evening arrives, light a candle eye. If you can, sit before it in silence and recall the week. Feel gratitude for every moment you chose peace over reaction. Then speak aloud the decree of completion. My words are instruments of light. They build and heal and prosper. I am master of my tongue, and my tongue is the servant of divine law. Pause, and let the glow of the candle reflect the glow within. You have purified the instrument of creation. The word that once scattered now gathers. From this moment forward, your speech will carry the fragrance of heaven. To seal the fast, speak this affirmation slowly. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. There is harmony, peace, and understanding between myself and all men. Everything I touch prospers. My words are seeds of joy, and joy multiplies wherever I go. Let the words descend deeper, until they merge with silence. For true mastery is not in endless talking, but in knowing when to be still. In that stillness the infinite speaks through you. Carry this practice into the weeks beyond. Let your conversation be deliberate, kind, creative. Let the pauses between words be filled with awareness. Speak as one who knows that every syllable shapes eternity. This is the completion of the Word Fast Challenge. You have learned to govern the scepter of sound. You will never again use speech carelessly, for you have seen its power. In your mouth dwells the river of life. Out of it flow the issues of the heart. Guard it, bless it, and it will build your heaven on earth. There comes a sacred hour in the journey of every soul when the weight of old words must be released, when the inner court of consciousness must be swept clean of the ashes of resentment and the shadows of remembered pain. For until the heart is purified of bitterness, no decree of abundance can take root, no prayer can bloom fully, and no word of power can carry the current of the divine. I have watched men and women speak the right affirmations with their lips, yet carry hidden anger in their hearts, and the law was obedient to both. Their words said prosperity, but their feelings said, I still condemn, and the subconscious, being the faithful servant, brought forth the harvest of contradiction. Remember the decree of the Christ mind. If you bring your gift to the altar and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there. First be reconciled. Forgiveness is reconciliation with your own peace. It is not weakness, it is alignment. Forgiveness is the solvent of psychic poisons. When you forgive, you are not declaring that the act was right. You are declaring that the divine within you is greater than any act done against you. You release the other not for their sake alone, but for the liberation of your own creative current. You cannot be both a prisoner and a king in the same mind. You must choose. Once a man came to me, burdened by a lawsuit that had dragged on for years. His partner had deceived him, stolen large sums, and left him bankrupt. Dr. Murphy, he said, I have prayed for justice, but nothing changes. I asked him, what are you praying with? He replied, I tell the universe I will never forgive that man until he pays. I smiled gently and said, then you are paying the price of your own decree. I instructed him to retire every night and speak silently as he drifted into sleep. I fully and freely forgive. Calm. I loose him and let him go. I am free and he is free. Divine love fills my soul and there is no longer anything to forgive. I told him to imagine handing over the entire case to infinite intelligence, to see both of them smiling, at peace, surrounded by light. Within 2 weeks, a new investor appeared, his finances turned, and the man who wronged him wrote unexpectedly, offering a settlement. Forgiveness unlocks the closed gate of your good. It is the password to miracles. There is a great cosmic rhythm. Whatever you mentally bind, binds you. Whatever you release, releases you. Therefore, each night, speak these words before sleep, when your mind is nearest to the gate of the subconscious. Infinite Spirit within me, cleanse my heart of every grudge and judgment. I forgive everyone who has ever wronged me, knowingly or unknowingly. I send them love, peace, and goodwill. I am free, they are free, and the river of life now flows unimpeded through me. When you repeat this until your heart feels light, the currents of health, wealth, and right action begin to move again. The subconscious obeys purity of feeling. A woman once came to me whose hands were twisted with arthritis. She said, I have done all your affirmations, but the pain will not leave. As we spoke, she mentioned an old family betrayal that she had put behind her. But the body never forgets what the heart conceals. I led her through the same forgiveness prayer, and she wept as years of bitterness dissolved. 3 weeks later she wrote, the swelling is gone, my fingers move freely, I feel like a child again. Forgiveness is not a moral duty. It is a spiritual technology. It dissolves the hard crust around your creative power. It makes the soil of your mind fertile once more. You may think you are angry at another, but truly you are angry within your own atmosphere. When you release another, you cleanse your own sky. Now, after forgiveness comes protection. Not the protection of walls or fear, but the radiant armor of divine consciousness. You are never safe by fighting the dark. You are safe by flooding the dark with light. Your protective decrees are the spiritual immune system of your world. Each morning before you go out into the world of men and markets, decree quietly, within, divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. The light of God goes before me, making safe, joyous, and successful my way. No person, place, or thing can harm me, for I dwell in the secret place of the Most High, and I am under the shadow of the Almighty. Repeat it not mechanically, but with the deep feeling that you are robed in an invisible mantle of luminous power. When I was in India, I met a teacher who said the yogi carries his temple with him. That is what your word of protection does. It builds an atmosphere around you through which discord cannot penetrate. Your subconscious accepts the decree as fact and forms around you a vibratory field corresponding to it. If you declare every morning, nothing can disturb the calm peace of my soul, all things work together for my good, then even if storms arise in outer circumstances, you will walk through them untouched like one moving through mist. A businessman I counseled in New York practiced this daily. During a financial crisis, he affirmed calmly, I live under divine government. Infinite intelligence governs and directs all my affairs in perfect order. Competitors panicked. He remained serene. In 3 months, the market shifted, and his firm not only survived but doubled its contracts. When others asked his secret, he smiled, I am insured by the Word. The Word is your spiritual insurance policy. No premium but faith, no expiration but forgetfulness. When you forgive and decree protection, you create the two pillars of spiritual mastery, release and radiance. Forgiveness clears the channel. Protection fills it with light. Together they make you untouchable by fear, envy, or harm. Now let us bind these truths with living words. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and speak. I am now free from every shadow of the past. I forgive and release all. I walk in love, clothed in divine protectors. On, my heart is pure, my mind serene, my path illumined. Every cell of my body vibrates with divine order now. Everything I touch prospers. I am divinely guided in all I do. Say it until your whole being vibrates with the certainty of its truth. Then rise and move through your day as one who has already received the royal decree of heaven. If shadows attempt to return, say within yourself, only light lives here. If old memories whisper, answer gently, you have been forgiven and transmuted into peace. This is the law. Whatever you identify with becomes your experience. Identify with purity, and purity becomes your world. Let this part of your journey be a week of silent release. Each evening forgive, each morning decree protection. 7 days of such practice will transmute years of stored resentment. The alchemy of love is swift for those who are willing. The universe does not delay, only the doubter delays the universe. When you have forgiven all, you have claimed your throne. Then you may speak your creative word, and it will move through the universe unopposed. And so I say unto you now, my word is my seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance. Let divine peace seal this covenant in your heart, and may your nights be gentle, your mornings radiant, and your days prosperous in the light of the eternal. There is a moment in the unfolding of every revelation when the single candle becomes 1,000 flames. The voice that once whispered alone in the night finds its echo in many hearts, and the word multiplies itself through the law of spiritual resonance. For as it is written, where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. When the word is spoken by one, it moves silently through the ethers. When it is spoken by many, it becomes a current, a living river of creative energy. The universe itself was sung into being not by noise, but by harmony, by the vibration of the divine idea finding expression through countless points of light. You are one of those points, and when you join your voice with others who know the same truth, the amplitude of creation increases beyond measure. In ancient schools of wisdom, initiates gathered in silence before uttering a single decree. They understood that thought plus thought, heart plus heart, multiplies power geometrically. This is the mystery of collective consciousness. The more minds attune to the same frequency of faith, the stronger the broadcast to the subconscious of humanity. Imagine a circle of souls, each radiating calm authority, each declaring with feeling, divine order governs my life. Divine intelligence guides my ways. Divine abundance flows through me. As these words rise in unison, a field is generated that moves through the unseen realms, influencing events, healing conditions, opening doors no man could open alone. You can form such a circle in your own home, among your family, friends, or colleagues. Begin not with ritual but with sincerity. Sit together for 5 minutes of stillness. Then choose one affirmation, a simple, luminous seed. Speak it slowly, rhythmically, with eyes closed and hearts lifted. Feel the vibration of the word move through your chest like music. Let the pauses between phrases be filled with breath. That is the spirit moving upon the waters of your collective subconscious. One group I guided in Los Angeles during the 1950s met weekly for such practice. They were clerks, teachers, artists, mothers, ordinary people by outward appearance, yet extraordinary in consciousness. They chose as their decree, "Everything we undertake is blessed. Divine success is our nature." Within months, members reported promotions, reconciliations, healings, and unexpected inheritances. They called themselves the Word Builders. This is no superstition, it is law. Science now echoes what the mystics knew. When minds are coherent in intention and emotion, the electromagnetic field around the heart synchronizes, and collective coherence affects both physiology and environment. Your prayers are not vapor, they are vibrations. Therefore, form your group with joy, not with burden. Meet in homes, gardens, offices, or even online. The place is irrelevant, for consciousness is not bound by walls. Begin each gathering with silence. Breathe deeply, then speak your affirmations as if you were composing a symphony of light. Let gratitude close the circle. If no companions are near, remember this. Every night, countless souls across the globe speak words of faith. Align with them mentally. Know that you are part of a vast, invisible fellowship of light workers. When you decree, "Peace be still," you are joined by many unseen voices declaring the same. Now let us return to the heart of the practice. The closing affirmation loop, the rhythmic chain of truth that seals every seed you have planted from part 1 through now. The loop is the sacred circle of the word, affirmation, feeling, visualization, and silence, repeated until the subconscious accepts it as reality. Sit quietly and allow these declarations to become your breath. Every cell of my body is under divine order now. Everything I touch prospers. I am divinely guided in all I do. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. My word is my seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance. Feel each statement as though it were already fulfilled. Between each pause and let the emotion bloom in your heart. The pause is the soil, the feeling is the moisture. As you continue this loop nightly, the old patterns within your subconscious will fade, replaced by the living blueprint of your divine ideal. Words repeated with conviction carve luminous pathways in the unseen substance of mind. A young engineer once wrote to me from Johannesburg. He had been unemployed for a year, despairing, yet he gathered 3 friends and began meeting twice a week. Together they affirmed, "Infinite intelligence opens the way for perfect employment. We are guided to right action and right place." Within a month, all 4 had positions beyond their previous income. He wrote, "It felt as if we had struck a divine current and it carried us forward. That current is real. It flows whenever 2 or more unite in faith. You can tune to it alone, but with others it becomes a mighty tide. As you prepare to end this journey, remember you have spoken words that will not return void. The universe has already received your decree and begun its formation. Keep your heart in gratitude and your lips in praise, for thanksgiving is the magnet that draws completion." Now let us seal this work together. You, I, and the unseen choir of souls listening across the world with one final wave of sacred affirmations. Speak them softly or silently, but let them fill your whole being. I live under divine government now. Peace reigns in my heart, order in my mind, and success in my affairs. I walk in the light of wisdom and love. Divine abundance is mine now and forever. I am one with the source of all good. Let the repetition become music. Let the music become stillness. In that stillness, feel the presence moving through you. The same power that hung the stars listens through your own consciousness. As you finish this practice each day, bless the world silently. May all beings awaken to the power of the word. May all hearts remember their divine origin. Then rest in gratitude. Your part is done. The law will complete the rest. And so it is. There comes a stillness after revelation, the quiet light before dawn when the mind no longer seeks, for it has found the source within itself. Every word spoken in truth throughout your journey has become a living seed in the garden of the subconscious. Now the season of manifestation dawns. I welcome you, traveler of light. You are not here by accident. The hour has come when the word you have cherished through these nights and days must unfold into form. The inner architect has completed the blueprint. The master builder, your subconscious, stands ready to shape it in substance. All that remains is rest in assurance. Behold, I tell you a mystery. Creation ends in rest, not in struggle. And on the seventh day, God rested from all his work which he had made. Rest is not idleness. It is the silent knowing that the word is self-fulfilling. When you rest in faith, you step aside and let the divine mind perform the miracle. In the old days, I would walk along the Pacific shore at twilight. The waves rolled like the breathing of the infinite, each one carrying whispers of the eternal rhythm. I would affirm quietly, all the good I have spoken is now established in divine order. Then I would let the ocean answer, it is done. You must do the same now. Every decree you have uttered, every word of forgiveness, every affirmation of health, abundance, peace, is moving through the creative medium even now. It is seeking expression through channels known and unknown. The subconscious does not delay. It simply awaits the moment when your outer self ceases interference. Cease the interference now. Let the divine perform its perfect work through you, unresisted, unhindered. When I say your word shall not return void, I mean that the vibration you have impressed must manifest according to the nature of your belief. If your heart is steady, your results will be steady. If your faith is radiant, your world will shine. I once counseled a man who, after months of affirmation, grew impatient. I have said the words 1,000 times, he cried, but nothing happens. I told him, then you have said them 1,000 times without rest. You have planted and uprooted the seed over and over. Rest now. Let the soil do its work. 2 weeks later, his long-awaited opportunity appeared, effortless and exact. Rest is trust in action. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe the breath of completion. Feel the presence that has walked beside you from the beginning. It is the same power that whispered the first, "Let there be," into the dark void. That power now whispers through you. Pause here. Breathe again. And now, beloved soul of the infinite, the journey returns to silence, for the word has fulfilled itself. The seed has become the harvest. You are no longer a seeker, but a creator awakened, resting in the knowing that every decree you have spoken lives, breathes, and moves within the eternal fabric of the unseen. Let go of striving. Allow the divine architect to bring forth your good in perfect sequence and time. All doors open before you now. Every cell of your being sings in harmony with the law of love. Feel it, the quiet power, the radiant assurance, whispering through your heart, it is done. Walk forth as the living proof of your own divine word. Let peace be your atmosphere, gratitude your language, and faith your constant light. For the Spirit that spoke through me speaks now through you, declaring from eternity to eternity, everything I touch prospers. I am divinely guided in all I do. My word is my seed. My seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance, and it is so.